The series number.
Well. Today, we update the title on the stream, which we're supposed to do before we go live. The episode is Bounty, not First Flight. Okay, so today we get to lose Florida and Canada, but nobody cares. Except Trip, but whatever.
Yes.
Nobody in real life cares.
Well, Trip only cares because his sister was there. That's all the reason he cares for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of the crew's just like, oh well.
Oh no, not Florida. The horror.
We absolutely didn't want to see that one go. We're absolutely not just coming at you just for pride.
All right, but today's episodes are Bounty, where we get to meet the Tellarites, The Expanse, which isn't that other TV show, and the Xindi.
The Expanse which prepares for season 3.
Xindi. Yes. We get to lose Florida, and then we get a cut a dude's finger off, and we put some guy gets to punch Archer a bunch. It's all good. And this, all of season 3 is all of what Voyager's The Year of Hell should have been. It's the same premise.
It is really funny that they spent the last episode of season 2 literally just setting up season 3.
Yeah. And the last episode of season 3 setting up Nazis. So that'll be fun. Everybody loves...
It's funny that
I was about to say everybody loves Nazis, but no, nobody loves Nazis. Everybody loves Nazi episodes.
You're lucky you're already demonetized. Because that would
What more can they do? What, take down the whole channel and give me more free time?
To be fair, they probably could.
Yeah.
They can, but then there's no actual monetary benefit or loss to me. All it does is give me more time in my day.
Yeah.
Well, no, it makes everyone who watches your channel sad.
Screw them. This is about me. Screw you guys.
But, yeah, it's funny that the last episode isn't just a cliffhanger at the end. It's entirely devoted to setting up the cliffhanger at the end of the episode.
Yes, to save season 4, to make the studio make it. You can't cancel us. We have a cliffhanger with Nazis in it. It's like, oh, fine.
And that was their mistake in season 4. They didn't do that.
They didn't have the time.
Well, they got canceled like halfway through season 4, didn't they? So they had
they should have done it. Season 4, episode 10. They should have had a cliffhanger.
Well, They were informed of the cancellation halfway through the season, so they had to wrap up the series.
Yeah.
Which they decided not to bother doing until the last episode.
No, they wrapped it up perfectly in the second to last episode.
Yeah, it was also writer issues as well at the time, I think.
So anyway, how's the weather?
Cold, windy.
Well,
cool.
The news has probably covered it, but really, really bad here in the UK.
All I saw was memes about it.
It's windy
in the UK. Are you guys sinking finally?
No, it's been windy.
No,
I don't think that's how islands work.
We're still floating, but the water's just covering the land through rain a bit. I would actually heard of any flooding, unfortunately.
Yeah, the rain's been fine. It's just been really windy.
Sink?
Yeah, it's really, really, really windy.
I don't know how
for example,
elevated the UK is.
Also, 45 seconds to start. Everyone be queued up to Bounty. Season 2, episode 25. Bounty.
The UK won't sink. It will just it's just collapsing into the sea a bit.
No, it's fine.
Also, speaking of Bounty, I had some Bounty paper towels, and then I finished those. It's like, yeah, whatever. You don't actually need Bounty. You can just get to the store brand. It'll be the same thing. So I bought some store brand, and they were awful. Just the worst. Now it's Bounty all the way. It's only Bounty.
Yeah. Some things I still bought is worse.
Everybody press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. And blur the screen.
Why is it blurred?
Oh, you know, I don't want this video to get copyright claimed and lose the revenue on it.
You should actually try doing a Steam and not do that. Just don't bother.
Soma, why are you
do anything
scraping
else.
your bowl in your microphone?
Because I tried to put in video broadcast on and it didn't work.
What are you scraping?
It is spaghetti bolognese.
I was actually about to have some of that as well.
So we all make spaghetti today?
I
Who is
spent
it?
a lot of chat.
It's a Tellarite. The first real Tellarite we see, because we see Tellarites in the earlier old shows, but they're really ugly. Like, not... Oh God, Tellarite mining consortium. Of course, Tellarites are just ugly, but before, just the makeup was just bad. This is a real Tellarite. And then we get a new updated design in Discovery.
What, like every other species?
Yeah. Because, I mean, why not? It's the Star Trek way. This guy was redesigned for Enterprise. Seems fair.
Well, Discovery is literally hundreds of years in the future. Of course they look different.
Yeah, that's fine. I'm fine with the future ones.
But they looked the same in the past.
That's the problem.
It's not a problem. It's just a TV show. That's how they work.
Yes.
Well,
It's also... Gene
If that's a
Roddenberry
problem,
literally-
then this guy's a problem. Because this guy looks totally different from Tellarites and TOS and TNG.
no, well, I'm
Yes.
not saying that this is fine. But yeah.
He's also... Gene Roddenberry literally didn't care about continuity up until TNG.
And that didn't work out.
Well, that statement implies that he started caring.
yeah,
He
half
did.
of...
He very much did.
He
He
started
did,
caring,
but-
and then he lost control, and other people stopped caring. Because why?
Yeah.
They tried to care. They cared a lot more through the process of some other things, but only self-contained things.
Yeah, at least half of TNG Season 1 got retconned. It didn't happen. It's not
Well-
real.
Yeah. The other half was okay though.
I'm now having some nice brooky bites to put in.
So anyway, yeah, you guys should go buy Bounty paper towels. The quicker pick. You should go buy
Yes.
Bounty. It pick up good. They're so thick and absorbent. Unlike store brand. Are there any other good brands
You should get yourself a sponsor deal, Ryan.
with Bounty paper towels?
Yeah, it'll recover the revenue problem.
Yeah. There's that dog
I don't
brand one. I forget what it's called.
I don't think Bounty needs a sponsorship deal. I think everybody not only knows about Bounty, but has used Bounty's products already. It's like it's like that College Humor video about Oreos. Everybody's already had an Oreo. They don't need advertising. Anyway. Ooh, nice flashy lights.
Andrex is the another good one.
Oh, paper towels.
Yeah. Well,
Let me
Toilet
look those up, see if they look like paper towels.
it's more toilet roll. Those
You
ones.
don't use toilet roll in the kitchen, Soma.
That's what I was assuming you were talking about. Anyway.
No, I'm talking about the paper towels like
But,
in the kitchen.
right. Yeah. Yeah. Store-bought runs are terrible for those.
Does Bounty make toilet paper?
There's
never
plenty,
seen
which is
that.
apparently decent. Ooh, T'Pol's in a different outfit.
Oh, it's... Oh, wait, I remember this outfit. She wore this to the desert planet. I was questioning why
Yes.
she would wear that to the desert planet.
White. White's a good color for the desert.
But
It's too.
it'll be so obvious when it gets dirty.
Yeah.
But it'll keep her cold.
I guess.
I completely forgot what happened before the title sequence.
He gets shot.
Yes.
How did that even happen? Why is it?
He was.
Anyway.
He was.
What do you mean, how does that happen? With a gun.
Yeah. He suggested that they have a guide, and then the guide shot them.
Guy was like, hey, can I come over? You want to hang out? I was like, yeah, sure. Let me go alone to the airlock to this new alien. He's like, oh, hi. And they shot him. Ooh, that guy has a little green screen fuzz around his head. Just a little, though. It looks okay.
He can literally just, unless it's a field, he can literally just crawl underneath it.
It is a field.
It is a
I
field.
think
Cool.
it's just an early field that needed extra things.
Ooh, directed by Balana Torres. That's her name.
Nice.
Balana does so much Enterprise.
He's trying to point out that you can shoot through the field.
Yes.
I mean, I guess he could turn it off for a split second to shoot him, if it's a problem.
True.
Oh no, is this the weird T'Pol gets, like, T'Pol, like,
No,
goes
is she going
feral
to-
in this room.
Oh. I don't remember if that's season 3 though. I think that might be season 3. Is something fucks with her hormones, and then she.
Okay.
She's walking out of it. Oh, she is. She isn't. Never mind.
No, I think this is she goes feral here.
That sucks. The storyline sucks.
Yeah, because she and Phlox are trapped together and she has to, like, start getting turned on by his back ridges, and it's...
Mm. I just wish they'd treat T'Pol with more respect.
With respect, but she's a woman. And this series is run
Like,
by
this
Rick
show is
Berman.
literally more sexist than Voyager, and that show is already very sexist.
What do you mean it had a female captain? Can't possibly be sexist.
7 of 9's outfit. There's one
It's
They
thing.
can't be
sarcasm.
sexist, they have woman friends.
Extreme sarcasm.
Wow, this camera. It's really getting up in there.
See, Phlox is it's not washing, but he's rubbing the gel on himself like, you know, a person would. T'Pol's being all
Yeah.
weird and slow about it. Come on, T'Pol. This is a flawed system. You shouldn't need a buddy system for a decon chamber.
Yeah, it should be
Yeah.
a shower.
Yep.
And that way they could just film it from the neck up. It would have been fine. It would have been like, oh yeah, decon, that's cool.
But then you wouldn't have
pretty
all of this
realistic.
rubbing oil on each other.
We could do that thing in Lower Decks where they just have fully naked people, but they blur
Please
them
do not
out.
caress his back.
T'Pol, leave him alone. Dang it, Rick Berman.
Thanks, Rick. Do you think that Rick is the horny one, or do you think it's Brandon Braga?
It's gotta be Rick.
It's definitely Rick.
It's
Do you think like they have
definitely
like horny energy that like when they're together it gets worse?
Maybe. I don't know, what else, what did Brandon Braga do by himself?
I don't know. I know he's been with the show for a long time.
Yeah, he was here forever. I want to find out what episodes just he did so I can see if they're weird and Rick Berman-y.
So was Rick Berman
Probably.
always weird, or was it like being exposed to Star Trek for too long. Because like he said
I
no
think
to
he got
Picard
progressively
or
more weird.
Roddenberry's. Like Berman saved us from Picard's horny Ferengi.
Yeah, I think he got progressively
Gene
more weird after
Roddenberry's horny
DS9.
Ferengi.
It looks like Brandon Braga might have been partially responsible for Seven of Nine's first outfit as a human.
Interesting.
Maybe.
Partially responsible.
BRB.
But if that was his only thing, then I mean,
That's more
First story
standard
with Rick
sex appeal.
Berman was Think Tank in Voyager. With Costanza in it.
hmm.
Based on the list of episodes that he worked on Memory Alpha, it looks like they're basically all fine. Some of them are really, really good as well. It started getting weird when he was working with Rick.
So it's Rick's fault.
It's all Rick. Thanks, Rick. You know, Rick sort of delivered that in a little mirror universe-y way.
Because he's after the captain.
With pleasure. You're literally a criminal, Archer. You staged a prison break. Multiple prison breaks, actually, but one in Klingon space. Wait, where's Gowron? That's not Gowron, is it? That Tellurite doesn't look like Gowron. Who's Gowron?
Well, he doesn't look like Gowron because he's Tellurite.
But his eyes don't look Gowron-y.
Because I've covered them up.
Enterprise, Bounty, Memory Alpha. Who's Gowron? Robert O'Reilly. As Cargo. Okay, no, we haven't seen him yet. We haven't seen Gowron yet. So, how about that Star Wars? The Book of Mandalorian, season 2.5.
The Book of Boba Fett was somewhat decent.
I liked it.
It was good.
Beetle! Sorry, I just saw
Beagle,
Beetle
where?
in this pet channel.
What?
There's a pet channel in a new Discord I'm on.
Hey. Yeah, he's playing to Paul. Is this Gowron? Doesn't look like Gowron.
It's Gowron's hands.
Could we just stun to Paul? Just shoot her. Stun her. Inject her with something. Knock her out.
Plots.
Is it just me or is Phlox thinner than he was before? I think he lost weight. It was a lot thicker in season 1. Did they make him lose weight because he was taking his shirt off for this episode?
Quite possibly.
Maybe it's just the shirt is slimming.
Oh, if I listened to his...
That's also not Gowron. That's just a guy. Given what we know about Tellarites, is this guy actually angry with the captain, or are they just chatting
Doing the normal
friendly?
thing.
They're just being Tellarites.
There we go. Hello.
Hi.
Hey, Ruben.
How come you weren't in Space Engineers?
Do I own it? I don't know if I own it.
Oh, you were
but-
playing Space Engineers. What did you tell me?
Because it was
have
like
an
2 in the
idea.
morning for you?
Ah, right.
Oh, it was really. I was up to like 5 or 6 in the morning waiting for you guys to take that jalopy into
I
space.
could have played it this morning, theoretically.
Well, the server's still up and it's open, so you can just like show up.
What is
There's
everyone
Gowron.
at
That's
Space
Gowron.
Oh,
Alright.
you can hear it's Daron. Very, very clearly it's Daron.
Well, not if you're saying it.
It is.
Oh yeah. Ah, Gowron,
So
Nachal.
I mean, he's doing a fair
Oh,
job of
he's
disguising his
doing-
voice.
No, he's
And your
not.
house.
So
Yeah, I would
It's just
say
Gowron.
not.
I got my giant pizza.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've been craving pizza for a while, so I finally caved and got a giant pizza.
Thanks for the update.
So, I had an idea. I have a ship design in mind now, and I wanted to build it in Space Engineers. But the railguns,
Yes.
could you mount them to like a gimbal? Could you build a
Yeah.
giant gimbal and mount them like
Yes.
a battleship turret? Yeah, that's what I want
Theoretically,
to do. That's what I want to do. Or also, I kind of want to make like a copy of the Rocinante from what you call it, Expanse, because I think you could more or less. Everything is in the game. Missile batteries, point defense cannons, railgun. So you could build a Rocinante, I guess. Wouldn't be very impressive, but
The issues with building ships from sci-fi is never the possibility or the availability of blocks. It's just that it takes forever to mine the resources.
well, I would just do it in creative mode.
That's cheating.
I
Pretty
don't
not.
care. I just want to build. I don't want to farm and grind. I just want to build stuff.
Yeah, it's the same
Sorry.
thing with
I've got,
Minecraft.
I've got
the
the
correct
NX01 in creative. Got a nice NX01.
I did a giant mansion inspired by Frank Lloyd Wright in Minecraft, like in survival mode, and that was just such a grind. It was just such a grind. And then I captured severals and pandas and foxes, and I herded them into the house from like across the globe, and put them in a terrarium, and that was just like days of effort. And it's like, I could just spawn stuff.
But we worked together on that jalopy, as you called it, for like 6 hours. And finally
Yeah.
getting into space was so rewarding when it was finally done.
Well, you'd still work on something for 6 hours. It's just you'd end up with something a lot bigger.
Bigger.
Yeah. You just end up with something more impressive and symmetrical and
Wait, what
and-
design was that
And
ship?
symmetrical.
Whoa.
It
The
wasn't.
back of wait,
No.
the back profile of cargo ship looks familiar. Was that a triangle?
I don't think it was a triangle, but we'll find
I
out.
don't know.
Do we need to back it
I
up?
don't know why. I don't know
I'll do
why
it.
you
I'll
guys
do it.
had that stepped design as the ship as you went further aft in the ship, it kept stepping lower and lower, and it's like that makes it impossible for the loading ramp to like touch the ground when you're landed.
We don't have a loading ramp. That's not a problem.
Well, you do have a loading ramp. Mike built a loading ramp,
Well,
but it doesn't
fine.
touch the ground.
It's
I was
not
like,
even
I was
really
like, just make
supposed
one
to
that
land. It's
extends
not
so it can actually touch the ground. Okay, well, I mean, he put a ramp, so
okay. I'll
it has
look
like
at
a
it
chin
later.
spoiler.
You know the It is slightly triangle shaped, but it's not. The one from TNG, in the episode where the crew, which one was it? It was the game, the Wesley one, the game. Remember that one?
The game with
What?
Where,
The ship
where
in the episode, the game in TNG with Wesley.
TNG, the game, ship.
alien
Let me look.
ship.
I think it was the back of that.
Okay, yeah, that's triangle-ish, but it's not the triangle.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
don't believe that T'Pol
Yeah, I
would
see
say
what you
that.
mean. It doesn't matter what T'Pol would normally say because she's under the Rick Berman curse. Her mind is affected.
Spock didn't say shit like that when he was in Ponfar.
Well, this isn't Spock, is it? People can be different. Not every Vulcan has to be the same.
They all must say exactly the words that Spock said in the episode Space Fever.
What did he say in Space Fever? Would you like to remind us?
That's what the German translation titled it, Space Fever.
What's with you and bad translations
think
and
this-
It
stuff?
was like heavily
That's your whole
cut
thing.
because it was too much for German TV at the time.
Oh, come on. German
Yeah.
TV has like almost porn in prime time nowadays.
Yeah, this wasn't.
Well, it wasn't
those
nowadays in
days.
the
This
60s, was it?
Those old scientists.
Ah, yes.
What? Look,
How is there air on the surface of this
I know,
tiny...
right?
Where
Is-
are
how is
they?
that?
is the
It's
United States
always
the
good.
last bastion of Puritan ideals on broadcasting? Like United States and kind of UK until Watershed, right?
I don't know.
I mean, there's still
UK
a lot
just
of rules
censors
about
your porn on the
you
internet.
can't show stuff on TV.
Like what?
Like,
Like, you can't use the F word on, like, shows that air
More than
during the
once.
day.
Yeah, that's nonsense at all.
I said it's Watershed.
I don't know what that means in this context.
Watershed is the point of the day where you can have more mature programming in the UK. So it's like
Okay.
what 10:30 or something or 10 p.m. I don't know. What is it, Selma?
Well, Watershed, I don't really know.
It's like I have a lot of watersheds nearby. There's a bunch of rivers. There's a bay. There's an ocean.
Like Top Gear got in trouble because on their North Pole expedition episode because he was driving and he was in international waters driving on the ice and he was drinking a cocktail while he was driving and they showed that before Watershed and like the show got in trouble because they're not supposed to show drinking and driving before Watershed for some reason.
Okay. Did we get like a space view of where they landed? Because this looks like an asteroid. Yeah, I mean, that's totally this Tellarite's fault. It's like, yeah, all right, you got me.
Yeah.
What did you expect him to do? Oh god, T'Pol, what are you doing?
According to Memory Alpha, since the Vulcan's mating cycle seemed to be too adult a topic for West German TV at the time, ZDF aired a version that radically changed the dialogue, rearranging some scenes while cutting others. As a result, Spock, instead of going through Ponfar, suffers from some lethal disease. The German episode title, Welta am Fieber, translates as
Welta am
space
Fever.
fever. German is a hell language, isn't it?
No. No, it is not.
It is weird that Flox is having such a problem. Well, I mean, it's supposed because it's a
We're gonna
mental
smash words
issue,
together.
but Flox
Was
has
ist
so many
los mit
wives and
Deutsch?
things.
Was ist los mit dir?
I mean, Phlox,
Deutsch
come on,
hassen.
Phlox being Denobian, he'd be like, all right, I guess we have no choice. Let's come
Yeah.
on.
Unless he
totally-
has, you know, even a little bit of ethical standards.
Fox having ethical standards.
He did advocate for genocide in season
But I don't
1.
think this would be. I don't think this would be against his ethics. Like I think he'd be totally okay with
She's
this.
clearly not in her right mind.
And he can fix that.
She's like space drunk.
He's withholding treatment. It's unethical.
Your ethics deeply concern me.
Well, we know that by now, Ryan.
And now he's lying. More unethical.
I'm trying to see it from a Denobian standpoint, Ryan.
I'm trying to see it from a not taking advantage of your
balls.
brain-diseased coworker's standpoint.
You're Rick Bermanified person.
What is she eating?
Consume couscous. She's eating couscous.
Yeah, you always give Uncle Rick such a hard time.
Because he's bad. He's awful. He deserves getting a hard time.
Did you just put her in horny jail?
Yes. Yes, he did.
Bonk.
There's like nothing holding up these walls. She could just break out at any time by pushing the wall over.
Yeah, but T'Pol's only selectively strong. She's only strong sometimes.
I bet Phlox could take her. He has to wrestle with his bats and eels and stuff.
Comparing T'Pol's strength to a bat.
I'm just saying, Phlox works out.
They should make Vulcans realistically ripped.
Have every we need a Vulcan played by The Rock. And then he just acts like a regular Vulcan.
Yes.
It's like, yeah, that's just what they are.
Why not? Yeah, like if like all the normal Vulcans we see have like no musculature, imagine what a ripped Vulcan would be like.
Do Vulcans even lift?
Like Spock can like bend like these giant metal rods.
I
in
think
that
gets
episode
retconned.
where he fights Kirk.
I don't know if that's true in canon anymore.
You don't think? And then like Solok is like supposed to be twice as strong.
There's
in
a
So
Vulcan
the
chasing
engines
him.
are magically
right?
fixed, and there's a Vulcan vessel there.
Yeah, why was there a
like-
Vulcan
like-
cruiser? What's up with that?
In the episode
And
where they play
not just
baseball,
twice as strong, but twice as fast.
like the whole conceit is that he beat Sisko at wrestling, but it wasn't really a fair competition because a human could never.
He was like beating up
wrestle
a
a Vulcan.
12-year-old girl as a grown man.
Mhm.
I don't know. There's some pretty mean-looking 12-year-old girls nowadays.
What, did someone mug you with the Girl Scout cookies?
Imagine being beaten up by a 12-year-old.
Well, that's just mean. You don't have to be rude about it.
The cell really sucks. Those gosh darn Klingons.
They took
So
the
rude.
engines.
They killed my boy. Those Klingons. I'll never trust those Klingon bastards. They killed my boy. He sees his
Ugh.
ship. Look what they've done to my boy.
My God,
Everybody
Bones.
knows ships are women, Robo.
At least in Star Trek.
And a navy. And any sailor.
No, ships are only women until they get to a certain size. Like the what was the German ship in World War II? The biggest, largest battleship at the time. What was it called? Can't remember now.
Bismarck?
Yeah.
I think it was
they called it a man.
Grossenschiff.
There are two of them that they built, and like Hitler and his normal dumbass decisions, tried to like sail it across the ocean, and it got like ganged up on and destroyed instantly. And then so he sent the sister ship to like hang out in front of a river for the rest of the war because he was too afraid to lose it.
What's it
Well, one
for?
of them,
It's
one
meant
of them
to.
died before it
whatever.
even shot a single thing.
Whatever. They're trying to kill Archer too, and they're not that good at it. I wouldn't worry. Are we gonna get him to assassinate a Klingon?
Because
What are
that'll
you
get them on
doing?
side.
Rick Berman, what are you doing? Just inject her with something to knock her out. Just come on.
Yes, but that wouldn't be as humiliating for her.
If we can't do that, can we like hit her with the chair you were sitting on to knock her out?
Yeah, so the Wrestle Man is really in your brain, huh? The Rock.
I hope he's lying about that. 42864. Why is she crouched over like a gremlin? What are you doing?
Wow. What a wimp.
Okay, good. He did lie.
All
Wait, what?
resorts to brute force.
That keypad is not
Yeah.
okay.
She
Yeah.
pressed 2 different keys for the 2 different 4s.
It's also a 4x5
Five-
keypad, which is not how
Yeah.
keypad
Does it have
work.
some numbers? Because all Starfleet codes have like 426 alpha.
Four by five keypad.
Yeah, it's a 4x5 keypad.
That's the worst design
It
door
probably
ever.
had buttons that were like select, backspace, enter, function, override.
Volume up,
Yeah.
volume down on the alarm.
Most sci-fi
Input
doors
select.
have that, so you can pull the panel off and try and brute force it behind. But that one, you just pull the panel off and it opens the door automatically, or
I mean,
unlocks
she
it
did have
anyway.
to pry it a little bit with her 3 times human Vulcan strength.
Yeah, but still, she had to.
This ship was designed
Still
for
just
puny
unlock the
humans
door.
in mind.
Still, you still shouldn't unlock the door when you pull the panel off.
Lockpicking
Well,
lawyer would not be happy with this.
no.
They would not.
Nothing on 1. Nothing on 2.
Malcolm,
A
shoot her.
little click out of
Gun.
3. Some counter movement on the
Gun.
core. Nothing on 4. Big click out of 5. Going back to the start. Nothing on 1. Little click
Gun.
out of 2. Another click out of 3. Some more counter rotation in the core. Big click out of 4.
Yeah, okay, yes, thank you, Robo.
5 appears to be set.
No, we don't need the entire process of the lockpicking. What we need is for Reed to pull out his gun and shoot her.
I think it's interesting how great lengths lockpicking lawyer goes to hide his face. There was one video I saw where you could clearly see his face in the reflection of the lock, and I don't remember which one it was, but normally he blurs that out, but he didn't get this one.
Always one.
There's always one. It was a long time ago I saw it, like 3 or 4 years ago.
Why aren't they just walking toward her slowly like they're the Borg? Shoot her.
We are the humans.
We are the
You're not going to
humans.
restrain her with your hands.
You will
to
drink
shoot her.
root beer. Your culture will adapt to drink root beer.
Thank God someone shot her.
Does stun even work on
accidentally
her?
vaporizes her.
Evidently it does, yes. Works very well.
Hey,
I like
look,
to
it's
stun her
a
multiple
triangle
times.
ship. Thing on triangle.
Was there not a time where they had to stun a Vulcan multiple times?
Yeah, we have just done the space zombie Vulcans later, multiple times.
So those are space zombie Vulcans hopped up on performance enhancing drugs.
What are you gonna do about it? You know, Klingons, if you keep ripping people off, you're eventually not gonna have people working for you anymore.
Wait, what is that Klingon ship?
Triangle Klingon.
I don't know. Not everything has to be a bird of prey, I guess.
The Klingons must have some form of cargo ship and tender ship. Like they can't be all battleships, you know, corvettes and cruisers.
Yeah, it's just
You didn't
it's
assume all
just
Klingons were
strange
soldiers.
they don't have them.
Birds of prey are like PT boats, you know. They're not like. Well, it depends on the bird of prey, I
Just
guess,
close to
because there's like
bed.
4 different birds of prey that all are the exact same ship, scaled up or down.
I hope he's keeping those as a weapon.
Yeah,
like,
I think
clobber
he does.
someone
Yeah,
over the
he
head.
does.
Okay, good.
Use gun on man.
Oh god, even the doors are all greasy. What's up with that? Oh, the Klingons have alarms. They're better at security than Starfleet.
That's the brig and not Decon.
I don't think the brig has alarms. If someone gets out, they just leave.
There we go.
Take his
Right,
gun.
Alex, you got one of them.
Gun.
At this
Yes,
point,
okay,
at
good.
this point of the series, they didn't have a brig set yet.
Yes.
They built it for season 3. I think. If I remember correctly.
Sounds right.
And they usually do. So that's why earlier in the earlier seasons, whenever they needed to hold somebody, they put them in an airlock.
Yeah.
Or the quarantine thing.
So those Klingons are dead because disruptors don't have a stun setting. Archer
Yes.
just killed 2 men. Not so much as a second thought.
Bad Klingon disruptor design.
He did it for his own survival. He didn't do it because he wanted to.
I don't know, I think he might have wanted to.
Yeah, that's why I said he did want to.
Kill them all.
Kills them. Kills them all.
Why are you quoting Sigmund Freud? And
Kills
why do I
them.
know that you're quoting Sigmund Freud?
Kills them all. Because we're penultimate Star Trek nerds. You must kill them.
All right, bye.
Mr. Frood.
What if they
They
just
drop
like
out of warp, turn around, and blow him up.
But doctor, I had no mother. Ah! Classic abandonment issues!
how could you possibly get there first before the Klingons? There's no way. Oh, wait.
Maybe
Gun.
Travis is very efficient in
Wait,
his
they shot the top to prevent
Don't worry
the
about
tractor
it.
beam.
It's a very
Horses,
small
just-
ship.
God, I love the grappler. The grappler is the best tractor beam.
Adorable. I love it.
where it just bounces off things.
Only
Is it
occasionally.
good?
All right, it's ours now. Bye.
That's
So
supposed
the
to be a Klingon
grappler, the
ship.
way the grappler's positioned, it doesn't look like it could actually pull anything into the bay.
It like moves out, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's on a
In the middle of
gimbal.
the
It's on the
bay.
bottom of the ship. There's there's so much of design of ships in Star Trek that doesn't take into account that space is 3-dimensional, and they don't have stuff like
Yes.
replicated on the dorsal and ventral side of the ship.
But you can just
Like
rotate the ship.
the phaser cannons. Yeah, but it's faster to just have a phaser cannon on top of the ship than it would be to flip the ship around.
Yeah,
If
but
you're
then you
in
have
combat.
double the
the phaser
firepower.
strips.
Yeah, they did fix it with the phaser strips, but if you like take the phase
Yeah.
cannons that they've got here, they've got 2 on
Yeah,
the
so
bottom at the front, and then they've got
my point
1
is,
more at the rear, right?
No,
My
they have a
point is-
180-degree arc. It's pretty well covered.
my point
I
is,
think.
with this ship, you either have to be facing at them straight on, or they have to be somehow beneath you. So if I was attacking this ship, I'd attack it from the dorsal side and just always stay in the dorsal shadow of the ship.
If you think about it-
the phase, whatever they're called in here, do go top and bottom.
Wait, what?
I don't think so.
I know there's
It's
some
a tube
visual
which goes.
mistakes where it fires from the top
They're
of the
only
ship,
on the bottom.
but there's only that one
They can
turret
go
on
through the
bottom.
top. I'm pretty sure.
No.
There's 2 in the front. There's 2 phase pistol.
I think there's only the 2 in the
phasers
front
on
and
the
the bottom,
bottom. Good.
and the torpedo tubes are also on the bottom.
You sure they had a
Torpedo
third?
tubes maybe matter less. They have a rear-facing one, maybe. I don't know. They have 2 rear. Actually, they had 4. What you call it? Spatial torpedo tubes in the front. And then when they got photon torpedoes, did they only have the 1 in the front?
We can look in
But
the next
in the
episode
set-
because they're about to get the photons.
In the armory set, they only have the 1 photon loader, if that makes sense. So, and they only have the 2 spatial torpedo launchers.
All right, are we
Loaders,
ready to
launchers.
lose Florida?
Wait, I thought there were nukes.
Spatial torpedoes? I don't know what the warhead is. It could be thermonuclear.
I'm gonna watch.
They
until
never
the
say on
final
screen.
sequence of the next
Okay,
episode, and
1 minute to the
unfortunately, I have
Expanse.
to go.
What makes
Everyone
a
queue up.
spatial torpedo? What does that mean?
It's
I
just
think we
called.
should
Nobody
watch
knows
The
what it means. It's just
Expanse.
called that.
It's a torpedo that blows up in space.
It doesn't
It's
mean
not a
anything.
photon torpedo. It's just not. Yeah.
Do they ever get photonic torpedoes?
Yeah, they're about to in this episode.
They're about to do that.
Variable
Maybe they'll
yield.
make up the brig as well.
But Spock
That's
said in
what-
TOS that they use nukes in this time period.
That's what they were using before. That's what.
Well,
Maybe
they're-
this
that's
was
what
the
it
top
is.
of the line ship. So if they had a sudden war with Romulus, they could have just like outfitted all their civilian cargo ships with nukes because they had them lying around.
Weren't there
From the
current
Third World
missiles
War?
that they're using
They can
for
only make
torpedoes
so many
that they're
photons.
using? Well, yeah, but
Well, we have a sun that
torpedoes they're
produces
using
a lot of
now-
photons.
Hang on, everybody, press play in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, play. Yeah, it's not clear what spatial torpedo means. It's also not clear what photon means in photon torpedo.
Yes.
Yeah, nobody knows.
It's an
Big ball
antimatter
of
reaction.
light.
They claim it comes from the photons it emits.
Bye,
While it's
Florida.
like,
That's a really 2D Florida.
Don't worry about it. It's also actually a very small percentage of Florida that's getting erased.
Yeah.
It's not a big
Florida-
line.
Florida is-
Cuba.
if you're familiar, Florida is very 2D in reality. So there you go. It's
Is it
like there's
actually Google Earth? It really looks like Google Earth.
Might have
there's
been,
2
for sure.
dimensions of Florida, and that's well, I guess there's 3. There's theme park, there's rednecks, and then there's retirees.
Wait, hang on. As
That's
someone
the
who works
3.
with photons every day, everyone works with photons every day.
Yeah.
Unless you work in pure darkness or you're blind.
Even if you're blind, you're being bombarded by photons. You just can't see
But you
them.
don't work with them. They just happen to be there.
They work with you.
Unfortunately, I have to go. Enjoy the rest of the episode, everyone.
Don't tell me what to do.
You will. You will.
Maybe see you around. Or rather, chat to you around.
Or
Bye.
goodbye. Whatever. Bye.
So, which is
I'm
the
making
greater
some
loss?
fresh lemonade.
Florida or Cuba?
Oh,
Probably Cuba.
I don't know. What does Cuba even do?
Medicine.
They keep old cars running well beyond their end of life.
They're really good at medicine.
Okay.
They're also really good at farming.
Oh, that's a nice.
It's Kronos.
Quonos.
Kronos. Kling. We could call it Kling.
Called Kling in some episodes of TOS, right?
Yeah, they do.
And the language is called Klingonese.
Ooh, Duras.
It's always Doras.
Are
Why don't we
Klingon
have
and
other
Klingonese
Klingon
different
families?
languages, or the same language with different names?
To be honest, they should have just ended the family line of Duras as an actual honorable house.
I chalk it up to a problem with the Universal Translator.
Apparently, the major exports from Cuba are refined fuels, sugar, tobacco, nickel, and pharmaceuticals.
Mm-hmm.
There's the medicine.
That's Cuba.
Well, at one point, tobacco was considered a medicine, and I was reading that in like the 1670s, there was a school in England, like a boarding school, that required all the boys to smoke a pipe with breakfast, and it's like, wow! Imagine imagine a school requiring you to smoke.
Now, what are Florida's primary exports? Crime and swamp.
Key lime pie.
Gators.
Gators.
Pixar movies.
Do you think people in Florida like to wear like neck gaiters? Ironically,
Do they have gators in Cuba?
Gator skin shoes.
I don't think there's gators in
not.
Cuba.
Oh, is this the first episode of the Columbia?
I think they just mention it. We don't see it.
Right.
I think.
So they return to Earth. Duras catches up with them, and then there's a defense fleet which helps them out.
Yeah, and the defense fleet is made of. Well, there's a Neptune class, and I don't actually know the other classes, but they're the small ships. Little fellas. And then that defense fleet doesn't come to help out when the actual Xindi weapon shows up.
There's a NX.
They just were taken off duty.
Oh, sorry, they were busy. They had.
They had relief efforts.
They're not going to need relief efforts if we don't stop the Banished. I guess that is an appropriate name for the Xindi, actually.
But the writers obviously knew people don't care about Florida. So just say, yeah, one of the true had his sister there. Who cares?
It wasn't big enough stakes for Earth to be at stake. It has to be his family, who we've never met, and we don't know her name.
Yeah, it would have been much more powerful if he'd actually seen her once.
Yeah, this is the 9/11
no, that's Halo
allegory,
Infinite.
except it's 3 million instead of, what, 3,000?
I'm now actually close to the end of Halo Infinite campaign.
Okay.
I've played an additional 3 hours and I've defeated
You
Escher.
shot the monkey. Who shoots a
Oh, I
monkey?
shot Escher tons of times.
Went full Harambe
Monkey?
on that monkey. What's up with that? It's messed up.
He wanted a fight, I gave it to him.
Do you remember in Deep Space Nine when
Yes, I do remember.
the Breen suicide attack Earth, and they're like, no one's ever attacked Earth like that before, not even the Klingons, and they just
Don't
forget about
worry
the
about
Xindi.
it.
Oh, this overwrites it. Because this
They
isn't
didn't attack
technically...
Earth like that because it wasn't a suicide attack except for one pilot.
Yeah.
It was
It's
definitely
different.
a suicide. It's still a suicide attack.
One guy. It's different. God, that was fast. They kidnapped him in like 2 seconds flat. God, John Fleck's voice, though. I really like that John Fleck calls him John.
Uh,
Who does call him John? John calls him John, and Vaughn calls him John. I think that's it.
Future Day is absolutely out, just saying, hey, I know where the Xindi are. You need to go deal with them before Earth gets destroyed. This is perhaps the most provable evidence that the Future Day is Archer.
Perhaps. Though, I think some of this conversation gets retconned in Season 3. Because Future Guy implies that it's true that humans will destroy the Xindi.
Yes.
But that turns out to be a lie.
He says they were told that they would, which is...
But then in a bit, he's also going to say
enough.
the Xindi should not have had knowledge of things yet to come.
It's somewhat ambiguous enough that you can easily retcon it.
Why didn't they test it somewhere else?
Because they're stupid.
Yeah.
See, there. The Xindi were not supposed to learn about their future. That implies that this is true.
Yeah. It's definitely implied that they will actually be destroyed by humanity.
Look, his outline is way more Archer-shaped in this one.
If you say so.
I suppose.
Well, it's way more. It's clearly.
It's shaped like a man,
outline.
I guess. It's humanoid.
He looking like a man.
It's not an Andorian. You can't swear on our TV show, Archer. Can't do that. All right, where's Earth?
There's Earth.
There it is, the pale blue dot.
Oh, that's the sun itself, actually.
Is it?
Here's Joras. Yeah, Travis just said that's the sun.
Oh. Why did we come out of warp here? I guess you're not supposed to warp into solar system for, unclear reasons.
They wanted to get a proper look at the star as they approached. Phase cannons, that's what they are
bold for
We
a
lost
Klingon
2
ship
phase
to follow
cannons
them
in one
all the
shot.
way to Earth.
I hope those torpedoes have it. Well, they do have self-destruct. I hope they're on a timer.
I thought they still had one. I thought they still had one aft cannon.
Yes.
They do.
Yeah.
They have a torpedo tube in the back somewhere. No, don't cease firing. Just kill him. Don't board. Just kill.
Oh, well, they approached far quicker than I thought they did.
Yeah, so if they got here this fast when they're on the edge of the solar system, why didn't they help with the Xindi? But yeah, at least one of those ships is a Neptune class. It's the same type you see... Well, there's a Neptune and an Emmet, I think. It's the same type you see in the shot from the title sequence that looks kind of like the NX-01 from the back, but it's not.
This bridge looks like it was made from scrap.
It was.
Is it a redress of an old Bird of Prey bridge? Just with more junk?
Maybe. Duras. Last episode we got Gowron, now we get Duras.
wouldn't everybody be briefed on this? Wouldn't everybody know about the Klingons and the fact that Archer is wanted at this point? You know, you'd think all the captains would have been briefed.
I even so, I think that's a fair question.
Yeah.
It's like someone shooting at you in our solar system. What's up with that?
Yeah, even so, they wouldn't know that the captain of that ship was Duras, and the exact reason for the fire in here.
Let me guess, the Andorians. Oh my god, shut up, Saval. Nobody cares about your science directorate.
Doesn't the actor from Saval play something on Alien? Play a character on Alien?
What do you mean?
or something?
I was just about to try to say, what do you have to lose a single starship? You mean a single most powerful
Your
starship
only
out of the
starship.
4? Single most powerful out of the 4 ships you have, 3 of which are your defense fleet and don't do very well. I do really swear.
But yeah, Saval's actor does a ton of stuff. I don't know his name. Also, why is Discord totally muted? For some reason, Discord was totally muted. I don't know how that happened, because I don't have a button set up to do that. That's not a hotkey.
You muted the entirety of
Discord and me. Everything on OBS was muted.
Well,
somehow.
How long has that been there?
I don't know. I fixed it.
David L said at some point, did everyone disappear from the stream?
Yeah, I said that just now. I think that was probably like a minute or 2. It's fine now. We fixed it. The point is, it's Gary Graham. Now, this scene doesn't actually make sense, I don't think. Specifically, the readout that he's going to list on the device. What is it? What is that? That's a reused
We've
prop.
seen that prop before, yeah.
Yeah. It kind of looks like the head of a torpedo.
Is that thing that that B'Elanna stole from the planet with the trajector?
Minus 420. But yeah, the minus I don't think makes sense. Why would it read minus? I get because it's in the future, but surely that would just tell you how many years from the point of view of that thing ago is synthesized.
It doesn't make sense that it can give an exact date in the future, because you'd have to know the changes of the quantum states. You can know quantum states from the past just through experimentation and measurements. But to know the quantum states in the future to that exact detail would be interesting.
If you're just watching this for YouTube, if you're just watching the blurry version, I think that makes you a crazy person, because the blurry version has no show audio. There's no show audio and there's no visuals. That doesn't make sense. You're not even watching the show.
Wait, there's a person as well?
We're fun.
Yeah, there's a person. That's a Xindi reptilian, as we're gonna learn later.
Hmm.
This, I believe, is the exact same shot they used in the intro in the first episode.
Hmm.
Dr. Farrat. Yeah, when they only have like one shot of Enterprise in space dock and they keep reusing it.
This is the false
Yes.
pretenses.
This is more medical misconduct in Star Trek.
Yes.
I don't know. The Science Vulcan Directorate might believe. In fact, the Science Vulcan Directorate explicitly does believe in time travel. Otherwise, it wouldn't be unfair.
Psychiatric evaluation. Not
Yes.
not a medical evaluation.
Explicitly, yes, that's what it is. What do you mean he can sense anger? What I don't know how Vulcan telepathy is supposed to work.
He means he senses it in his voice.
Okay.
Like, that's not a weird thing to say at all.
I don't think I've ever sensed I sense something from someone.
I have.
Okay. Wow, one Dr.
think that's
Fraud in the
abnormal.
entire Vulcan Empire? Wow. Smack him, Phlox. Do Vulcans have medical ethics? Because this is not the first doctor we've seen that's just been awful. I don't think they have an ethical review board. Oh no, not Florida. And the CG trip and read. Why are they holding their arms out like that? It's like they're holding it's like they're holding an invisible basketball under their arms. In the background is CG.
Shut
here.
up,
It's all green
Xbox.
screen. You can't say that to it. Don't be rude.
It's saying please play an Xbox game.
But they're replacing like the entire shit. Oh wait, no, that's Columbia. NX02.
Your Xbox is lonely. It just wants to play with you. You're so mean.
It's Xbox on PC.
Yeah, I didn't think we saw the Columbia in this episode, but no, there it is. Part of it, anyway. Well, maybe you should listen to it, Soma, and finish Halo Infinite. There's one mission left, dude.
Yeah, no.
It came out 2 months ago.
I couldn't play it for a whole month, so I couldn't play it on my PC. Well, a couple of weeks, I should say. And then I've been really, really busy.
Just get a little less sleep and play Halo instead. Let's see what the problem is. I do really like the introduction of the Makos. The Makos are good.
Yes.
Frankly, every Federation ship should have that kind of team.
Yes. Oh, to specifically ask for the Makos.
If we had Makos on the Defiant, things would go so much better for that crew. They get boarded several times.
Small ship.
They could have literally one person who's trained to use a gun.
You mean Worf isn't trained to use a gun?
No, he hits people with a sword.
Should just put Dynan on the Defiant.
Worf hits people with a sword and Odo punches people.
Should just put Dynan on the Defiant. She's so much better than Worf.
Sometimes he attacks them as a hawk or something, you know.
Does he? Does he really? I also believe the lighting in sickbay is going to change dramatically next episode. It's going to get more yellowy. It's going to be more harsh. This is very soft lighting.
Will they hire more medical staff? No.
No. Why would we do that going into a dangerous, uncharted region of space? That's crazy.
It's
If
pretty
only
funny that
they
they don't
had
have
some-
a single nurse.
If only they had some way to project like a artificial AI with all the medical
No, that's crazy. talk.
research and training and data that we've
We
ever
don't have
collected
that at this
ever
point.
in a database.
Maybe one of the Makos is a medic.
Well, they probably all have,
Ooh,
you know,
new
first aid
torpedoes.
training.
Photonic warheads. Not photon torpedoes, photonic. They're different.
So right, there's
Somehow.
a single loader there, right? So they have one photon torpedo tube.
Yes, it's an
Maybe
additional
one aft
torpedo
one.
tube.
I assume
Maybe the
there's
loaders
an
like
aft
shuffle
armory that
the.
we never see.
Maybe they shuffle the torpedoes all around the ship, and they just have the one quick loader, and
Yeah,
different things moved around.
No,
they've inserted a third torpedo tube.
No.
which is nice.
Doesn't the steam runner have like 15 torpedo tubes? It's like technically a torpedo boat.
What's his name? Lizzie? Elizabeth?
Do you remember when like the Enterprise D would fire a full spread and it would be like one big torpedo that would split into multiple torpedoes, like a starburst? Imagine 15 tubes rapid firing those.
Imagine whenever they get in a fight, they actually try to win instead of letting themselves get shot sitting there. Oh god, I remember one episode of Voyager we watched that was just, they were sitting on the bridge taking all this damage, like, oh, shields are down to 50%. And not once in like the minute and a half long combat did Voyager fire it back. Not once. They just sat there. I like that Saval turned off the lights for the extra spooky atmosphere.
Yes.
The lights don't need to be off. They can all see the screen. I bet Saval even put on this spooky music in the background. Alright, so we're gonna meet them later. Well, not them specifically, but people like them. If Janeway is so bloodthirsty, how come she doesn't fire the ship's phasers? In a fight.
I think that I don't like the attack on Earth part. I feel as though they didn't need to test the weapon on Earth. They should have just tested the weapon, and then when they attacked Earth, they should have attacked Earth with the full power big boy weapon instead of this little wimpy weapon.
Yes. We have all agreed to that at various points throughout the stream that the Xindi are stupid.
Yes.
Just kill Earth. You know, the mission might actually go a lot better if T'Pol didn't tag along. Then they could line the hole and they'd be safe. It's all T'Pol's fault that it goes pear-shaped. Also, what is the etymology of goes pear-shaped? What does that mean? How do things turn into the shape of a pear? What's wrong with pears?
I think.
Suck. I actually really do like them.
Yeah, everybody loves pears. Pears are great.
Juicy pears are good. Have you had Asian pears? Because those are my favorite.
I like normal pears better though.
Sometimes the
Asian
flesh of normal
are
pears is
apples.
too mushy for me. Sometimes
you always need to get fruit that's not quite ripe. You don't want the squish. I don't want the squish.
Reminds me, I have some mangoes. Wonder if they're ripe yet.
I hate mangoes for that exact reason.
Really?
It's like a weirdly sweet avocado.
I don't like avocados.
Just the.
And this is the exact same sequence as episode 1 again. Great.
Yes.
Same music, same shots, same astronauts.
I really wish they didn't do the CGI astronauts.
They should like have added a bunch of cannons and stuff. There should be just bristling with cannons pointing in every direction.
Yeah, I'm gonna look up.
Oh, this is where he gets to find out that they upgraded the weapons on the Enterprise.
Yeah.
Then he has to come back with friends. Are you sure you should be drinking right now?
This is a glass from Next Generation.
They're off duty. Beta Shift has it covered.
When they had that chemical
Beta Shift. I don't think Beta Shift exists.
It definitely exists. The ship wouldn't function.
Remember when the engineers were exposed to that chemical that like dissolves glass? I think this glass was in that episode.
Is Enterprise?
Barclay, Geordi, they were exposed to that chemical that from the
what was it, tritium gas that got into the replicator or something?
No, they got on them because they were handling something.
Yeah, it got on them and they transferred it to the systems when they were working on them.
Right, correct.
On machinery. Yeah, we never see the night crew on any ship. Well, no, we see the TNG night crew once, but it's just Data.
I think we see them now and then, like when they do the I don't know about on Enterprise, but we often see just randos getting relieved of duty when the main crew has to be woken up for something important.
Yeah.
Have we ever had a Beta Shift like crew member named?
I don't think so.
And do you think Enterprise is on a 3-shift or a 4-shift rotation?
I think Enterprise is on a 1-shift rotation.
Huh. You really do?
I don't know. There's not that many people on the ship, even.
It's theoretically possible.
There's like 83 people on the ship.
Well, how many do they need to run it? 20, maybe?
All of them, I assume. The ship's barely holding together.
Oh, there's one in the rear.
See, Archer didn't relieve anyone. Well, he relieved T'Pol, I guess. But T'Pol's also on the main shift.
Oh no, he's drunk.
So if T'Pol was on this shift and she's on the day shift, does she just not need to sleep? All right, Archer, kill them. Finish them off.
These guys are so useless.
God, and it was Reed who suggested to stand down. What is wrong with you, Reed? Just kill them.
Where's your smile at blowing them up?
Murder.
Like, Reed has a very
Come
distinctive
on.
blowing things up smile.
Yeah, he loves it.
He does. He loves murder.
No, don't go to 4 or 5. Go to 0, turn around, and shoot them. Or, instead of thinking twice about it, they could not think about it at all if you shoot them.
If he killed Duras, imagine how many problems that would solve in the future.
The Klingons even would be into it. They'd be like, all right, good fight, cut, but you got him. They wouldn't even be mad.
They'd still be after him, though.
All right, Archer has some cucumber. He has some grapes. And is that pineapple in the back?
Archer likes fruit. Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. Fruit's pretty good.
Fruit's great. Enterprise is synthesized, right?
I think this is fresh fruit. They have a
Just come from Earth,
protein
so-
resequencer, but I don't know what... Does it only work for protein, or... I don't know what the extent of its abilities. It can't make pan-fried catfish, because Tucker was astounded by that. Oh, she can't do that. Wait, doesn't she only officially join Starfleet at like the end of season 3?
I think she gets her commission right now.
Hmm.
Go
Not a
turn
uniform,
around. Go
but-
fight the Klingons so it could be a battlefield promotion.
Oh, she doesn't get a uniform because they've already left Earth and it's too late to turn back for more clothes. She just has to
And
wear
the
what she
quartermaster
has.
on
One
the
of
ship
Trips.
doesn't have one in her size. Can't tailor it. They're pretty much like a one size fits all type of like small, medium,
Vulcans
large,
have
extra
special
large.
fabric
just-
requirements.
I heard that these uniforms were actually all very tailored, and that all the dudes had to work out a lot to maintain their shape.
Have you
for
seen
this.
Travis
Whereas
take
in,
off his shirt in this show?
in Next Generation, they gave him shoulder pads and pec pads. Just like, you don't need to
Even
work out.
Child
We'll
Wesley
just-
has pec pads when he gets the uniform.
Child
It's
Wesley.
weird.
It kind of explains the early Cardassian uniforms, right? They're just like more pec pads, bigger pec pads, shiny brown pec pads.
Traveling at warp 5 for 7 weeks.
Did
We
they
just
make
jumped to,
Kira-
hey, we're done.
Wearing shoulder pads.
Probably.
I'm gonna post a picture of not Ducat
With his... What is the...
in general.
What is that on his head? Is that a
With
rebreather?
weird pink skin.
Yeah, that
Hankskin.
thing he was wearing, that BDSM headgear thing.
It's not how I read that at all, but okay.
I don't know. I think that would be something Cardassians
unsee
would be
it.
into.
Point two
It's a
impulse.
Cardassian dress helmet, according to. Wow. So I tried to post a picture of. I'll send you the false positive thing. Nabbed one of the things I was posting. It was like, no, that's explicit. It's just a picture of Golmset here, whatever his name is.
Hey man, you can't just be posting Golmaset willy-nilly. Yeah, the helmets on them are so bad. It looks like it's supposed to be a breathing tube, but then they just take them off in the ship. And why?
Yeah, that's what I was
these
posting
guys
the picture of him.
became the main antagonists of the setting. Kind of like a reverse Ferengi. Looks like they didn't try at all. And they became like the most respected villains.
Where are you, Ryan? Ryan's Discord. It keeps false positing this picture. I don't know why. Why do you think that is?
It's me.
I mean, parts of Cardassian armor and anatomy are slightly suggestive, I guess.
Okay, Gene.
Here, let me unblur the screen so everybody can see the picture we're looking
Robotic
at.
corpse, please send it to me.
I'm putting it on the YouTube stream if you want to just look there. This is Golma Set. This is what Discord considers explicit.
Here, let me.
Is it Gulmaset? Or is it...
Yeah, I wonder
That's
what's
Gulmaset.
Gulmaset,
of the Cardassian ship
Chain
Traegor.
of Command. Yeah, it's Gulmaset.
He's also the only Cardassian with facial hair.
In Free Speed, you just said he was that full impulse.
Well,
yeah,
maybe
we never
should
see
go to
another Cardassian with facial hair again, do we?
Nope. Maybe we'll see one in Discovery or Picard eventually.
Yeah, he's related to Gul Dukat somehow.
They're cousins.
Maybe they're like from the same clutch of eggs.
Use all your weapons, not just the torpedoes.
Starfleet is not a military organization. That's why none of them know how to fire the guns. Okay, we don't need to keep getting close-ups of the Cardassians.
Trying to figure out what part of it is freaking out the image.
An L4, that's crazy. Is that a real thing? Or is that a Star Trek thing?
No idea. Probably a Star Trek thing, but it should be based on some real maneuver or something.
What are we supposed to be looking at, Travis? There's nothing there.
It's a Fisher portion of cloud.
I guess.
Hey, they're actually going up in space.
What? They can't do that. That's illegal. So an L4 was just go up? Do a loop-de-loop? See, now Reed's happy about it. He has this little smile.
Like how Archer is
they do blow up
in
the
his
chip.
voice, like he whispered fire.
He didn't want the Klingons to hear them. L4 aircraft maneuver. Let me see if I can find that. The L4 maneuver was commonly referred to... Oh, wait, no, this is Memory Alpha. Okay, it doesn't appear to be a real thing. But, I mean, it's not that complicated. You just do a... It's not a barrel
that maneuver
roll.
would only work in a cloud. So I don't know why he was like, can you do this in a cloud?
Well, it works anywhere if you're in space.
Do anything if you could see the... No, but it doesn't mean anything unless you're obscured in some way.
True.
It only works if they can't see you.
Maybe usually they just do it for fun. What's in there, Archer, is misery and death. So, have fun. Oh, they're passing through the edge. Okay, season 2 is
Crossed
complete.
the threshold.
Yes, they did.
Oh, jump past the recap.
Yeah, if you're watching on an internet service, maybe just like start it to see if it auto skips and then scroll back to 0. 1 minute to the Xindi.
Now that's an interesting difference about Amazon Prime and Netflix. Is Netflix will, when you finish watching this show, will recommend something similar or something somewhat similar, whereas Amazon will put the next thing to watch as something you're already watching. So it'll be something on your continue watching list, which is a lot nicer.
On an unrelated note, apparently you can now get Girl Scout cookies delivered.
Well, you
Heck
always
yeah.
got them delivered.
Well, but usually they
You
just like
guys have
showed up to
some-
your door. Now you can just order them.
You guys have some weird traditions in the US.
You don't like
What's
a cookie
weird?
tradition? What's
Girl
wrong with
Scout
cookies?
cookies are cool and good.
Well,
I'll not
it's,
hear
it's,
anything about it.
it's just
Hang
interesting. I
on,
suppose-
wait,
I
hold that
suppose
thought
the
press playing.
brownies
5,
do
4,
have similar.
3, 2, 1, play.
I suppose the Girl Scout.
Are your Girl
guys
Scout
in the
cookies made from real Girl Scouts?
I suppose we have the Joel Guys in the UK has similar-ish things.
They're
We
just
don't really go around
fundraising, and we
Girl
get
Guides.
cookies out of it. Which, it's not like they make the cookies themselves. They're the same cookies you just get in a
Not
store.
anymore. They used to originally. They used to
Yeah.
make the cookies themselves. Now they contract with a company to make it for them. And Aldi has copycat ones.
Well,
They're
it-
basically the
Everywhere,
same-
you can get
Yeah.
the same cookies at any grocery store. At least where I am.
it is a good idea to have it as standardized just to prevent any issues with food poisoning.
Just in
and
case
things
one
like
of the
that.
Girl Scouts tries to poison you.
Well, it's
Right.
not even that. It should just actually be accidental. There's no way of
accidentally poison
doing
you.
food poison. There's no way of checking for safety. And it's a commercial product. Oh, I just noticed that there's an cell in the background on the Columbia.
Yep, they're dragging him in.
"14 months in Columbia." So they said, "Yeah, you're not judging Columbia in season 3. We're going to share it in season 4."
It's the Xindi. Okay, there's Degra. There's Commander Dolem. Not Golem. That's
Look.
Picard.
50 light years is it looks Cindy, 50 light years is nothing in the compared to space.
Yeah.
That's like only 4 Alpha Centauris away.
Well, no, Alpha Centauri is like 4 point something, 3 point something.
Let's see.
It's like 10 to 15 Alpha Centauris away. But still, it's pretty close.
4.367. Yeah. This is it's 11 to 12 Alpha Centauris away.
Ooh, look at those fish, people.
Which is still not really.
Those are some good fish.
Oh.
Someone joined and left.
We don't have enough fish species.
Oh, it's the upbeat one for the
Yes, they ruined it.
Just why?
Leave it.
Why? You go into the most serious
They're
season
going-
of the show.
Yeah, they go into the most grim, dark,
Earth
region
was
of
attacked.
space.
We're all gonna die.
And now we have this rockabilly intro, pops
They
intro.
ruined it.
I mean, they made it worse. They didn't ruin it. It was already terrible.
It was already great, and then they ruined
Yes.
it.
I'm with Ryan on this.
You just like to, just simp for Ryan. That's all.
It's not kissing us. I've always believed it. It's one of the first things I talked about this server. Probably.
It's not like if he kisses up to me, he's gonna get a portion of my 0 revenue.
Oh yeah, dude. Seriously, we gotta be super aggressive with that appeal.
I can't do
Yeah.
anything. They won't even look at it until next month.
I know. That's what I'm saying. We gotta prepare. We gotta have a plan.
I'll have a plan. Don't worry about it.
The channel must have a plan. We're gonna have 1,100 Star Trek nerds being down YouTube's door.
Wait, that does raise a point. Why is the Columbia in episode 2 when it's now not really experimental?
Shut up.
Because it's the NX series
Oh,
of ship.
here's to Paul's new uniform.
The whole ship's
red.
NX.
Yes. It's literally
Also
the
a new
same thing
haircut.
she's worn in the past, but red.
New haircut.
Yeah.
Which is, it's not great. I don't like that, the way it just has a line across her forehead.
This is
Is it
the
a lot of trouble? It
Enterprise
looks like they
E.
just put a screen in there.
This is reused from Enterprise E, one of the rooms.
They got some future tech.
What room was this on Enterprise E?
This doesn't
They
look like
reused this
Enterprise E
from-
at all to me.
No,
Hello,
it was reused from this
Enterprise E
set was reused from the Enterprise E, I promise.
It is. It's just redressed though. Like the Enterprise E doesn't
Yeah.
have the Dell monitors on it.
They had the big monitor that T'Pol's standing at.
It doesn't look familiar to me at all, I couldn't say. You're on your own here.
I think Star Trek pointed this out once that oh no, it was Enterprise actually. Most planets have only one species evolve to like a high level of intelligence.
So like Major
Yeah.
Hayes.
They destroy all the others. Like we
Corporal
destroy-
Chang.
What did they
Corporal Chang,
call
you might
that
recognize from
room?
Voyager. That episode where the planet moves at like 1,000,000 times normal rate. He's the astronaut that goes to Voyager and meets them.
This
It's pretty cool.
Pretty good episode.
I hate to spoil the Xindi arc, but the aquatic are pretty central. When they're four,
They don't do anything. Their whole
no,
their whole character trait is
beginning-
they refuse to do anything until the very end. Yeah.
right at the beginning, they vote for a war with the humans, and then at the end, they're the peacemakers.
Command center. Here we go. All right. I'm looking for the.
What's
I
that
remember-
white material on their camouflage? It's so weird.
Don't know. Is the screen from the scene where they're talking about Remus and they talk about like, oh, I remember the line "the dark side" because I used it in a video. And they have this big screen there. The dark side of Remus.
I think that's the only time we get that in Star Trek. Like a magnetic shifting of all the containers in a room, like that. We didn't have the money for special effects back then.
Well, there's some special effects.
No, that was
Yeah.
great. That's what I'm saying.
They look very CG, but it works.
Yeah, it's fine.
No, but I mean, even the concept they should have used a little more, but it's just a lot of work to like defy gravity.
You mean you don't know automatically?
Even if I what automatically?
No idea. Doesn't matter.
A tech demo right there.
Here you go. I'm sending
NVIDIA.
you the picture. It's actually
Physics.
it's the
engine.
Enterprise E observation lounge, Ryan.
That was
and
gonna be my guess.
How is
Here
that the observation
is. I thought it
lounge?
was the observation lounge, but you'll see when I send it to you.
It's like a long room.
It's a redress of the observation lounge without the windows.
I mean, but the observation lounge is curved. That room wasn't curved.
Hmm.
I don't know what to say, man.
That doesn't make sense.
Someone check memory alpha.
It was curved at the long end, but the front end wasn't curved. Also, they reused the set. It didn't mean that they like reused the whole thing. They just reused a few panels.
It is. It is. I think it's a little bit curved, but it might be deceptive the way that they film in there. And
Yeah.
that picture I sent you was done with like a fisheye lens, so it makes it
Yeah.
look more curved than it really is.
Yeah, that's how they make the flat Earth look round in all the NASA videos.
Yeah, they use a curved lens, right? Yeah, they put flat Earth
They're the
around. Yep.
curviness.
So this is the
Star
observation
Trek
lounge
isn't
first
canon because
context.
nobody can pierce the firmament.
But the ones I sent you with the screen, that's from Nemesis. So
Okay.
I would have loved to have a series with the Enterprise E, even if it didn't have Patrick Stewart. I'd be okay with that. I'd like
The
a
Enterprise
series of the
E is a
Sovereign
Take
class.
gorgeous
out Riker
ship.
and Troy
Yeah.
too, please.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they're on the Titan.
Yeah, put it. Yeah, and Data. And...
No, we want who would be? I guess you'd have Captain Data, but you'd have to have the whole Data's memories like absorbed lore plot line reinstated.
Okay, good to know, Captain Data.
We could make that work if we say that B4 became Data, and then he just got like vaporized before the events of Picard. Though that would be weird, but we can make it work.
I don't.
It could work. So
you just can't have an old Brent Spiner playing Data anymore.
Like his circuits were faulty, and then he died.
You can though, because they state explicitly in TNG that Data has an aging program.
Yeah,
they do, but then later on they kind of ignore that when they complain that he looks too old to be Data, like off. Well, in real life,
everyone's metabolism slows down, so unfortunately.
Okay, so how about Captain Wesley?
No.
Oh, come on.
Captain Will Wheaton.
The fans already.
Wait, do we use Will Wheaton or do we use that guy who played Adult Wesley for like a minute?
The guy who played Adult Wesley, the guy that looks like He-Man.
The guy with the chin.
From the Q episode.
And the jaw.
Yeah.
Not that guy with the jaw, the other guy with the jaw.
Not that guy with the jaw, the other guy with the jaw?
Yeah.
What did you say?
The guy with the jaw is Brian Thompson. That's the real guy with the jaw.
Who else? We could have Captain Barkley.
No one gets in prison more than
Captain Worf.
They're not in prison.
There's been more.
Michael Dorn is trying
Worf
so hard to
series.
get a job.
Yes.
Oh God, please no.
Just give him a job. Give the poor guy a job. Come on.
Is Michael Dorn even doing this?
No.
Is he
Didn't they abuse?
You're right.
Look, didn't they abuse Worf enough? Hasn't he earned something?
With the money they're
Worf
gonna
is
give
like
Chris
the
Pine,
worst.
they could hire the
Why?
whole TNG crew.
What's wrong with Worf?
He kind of sucks in
Why?
TNG, but in DS9 he gets way better.
Yeah. Especially when he murders Gowron. That's awesome. That was like one of the best episodes. He does get a little wimpy in that part where he's infiltrating that ship and he doesn't realize the guy was gonna kill him, but his brother caught it. Remember?
This villain is so funny and badass because he's first of all he's always gasping all the time, and then they're here for information.
We also saw him once in I think season 2 in an alien bar somewhere. I think that was just, reused makeup, but...
Someone said
I've seen one of his
Captain
species.
Harris and his XO Ensign Kim. That was goofus.
How does he know?
Messed up.
How does Reed know? He's an armory officer.
He might have went to Starfleet Academy. He knows many things.
And he took an engineering extension?
So this is to show how moral Archer is, because he's about to give zero rat's tails about morality in a few episodes.
Yeah, whatever. The actual important states are on the line here.
Right, but now he's horrified by a finger being cut off. On the scheme of things, it's
like, what if they attacked California? That's where I live. They can't do that. We gotta save it.
They take California, they could cut it off and just let it fall into the ocean.
That's not how continents work.
Something strange. The Florida attack is even when Tucker
The Florida attack
remember
is when
this.
Tucker.
Oh, this is
It's a bad dream.
Tucker. Yeah.
When Tucker does neuro pressure therapy with like another crew member, and T'Pol gets jealous.
The Mako, yeah, the Mako.
Yeah, right. The Mako woman.
The cute Mako.
Anyway. So he tells T'Pol not to be jealous because she's also from that part of Florida, and neither of those towns exist anymore. It's pretty intense.
So that kid who was playing child Trip for a
Val
second.
Tucker.
Yeah, I think that's the same kid that plays Sim later.
Oh, that makes sense. Because
brought him back.
They film them at the same time?
No, no way. These episodes are finished like 2 days before they're released.
Really?
No, they're finished.
I don't know. I made that.
I don't think so.
I thought they were
lying to you.
I don't think so.
Like, because they have to be sent to the TV companies and
Yeah.
commercials in them. Also, trailers have to be made for marketing.
Trailers, marketing. They didn't market. The only episode they marketed was Regeneration.
Look, every episode had a commercial, tonight on Star Trek.
Oh, I get what you're saying, but like,
Yeah.
they really like went all in on marketing Regeneration.
Oh, okay, right. Yeah, because I mean, again, the Xindi plot also, they were trying to, I don't want to say resurrect the series, but like also, sorry to continue, but TV also, they were worried that the internet was going to supplant TV. So in general, there was like they were worried about television programming as a whole, and so this was all like a, I don't know, booster
You're
shot.
not sorry to continue. You're enjoying it.
Go ahead.
Never apologize. Be assertive.
I just wanted to say that I didn't think that they needed to explain that latinum was liquid platinum. Like I didn't. It didn't need that backstory. It could just be latinum.
What?
It could just be space metal. We didn't need to have someone say
now?
it's liquid platinum.
They didn't say latinum. Nobody said latinum.
No, he asked for latinum. And there's like liquefied platinum.
If that's the case, then latinum shouldn't be precious, right?
Yeah, because
No,
any kind of metal is found on asteroids in gigantic amounts.
Yeah, that's my point. Is like we didn't need to explain that latinum was liquefied platinum.
Yeah.
I'm not sure they actually said that. I need to look at the script.
I think they said platinum.
We can just accept that it's a.
I don't think they said that. I think you're making that
as
up.
a space metal.
And that doesn't fit with Deep Space Nine, because Deep Space Nine specifically say platinum bars.
No, the latinum is inside the bar.
Yeah, it's a gold bar with platinum in the
suspended.
Oh yeah, true.
The latinum is
Remember, in Who
suspended
Mourns
in
for
gold.
Mourn, he drinks mercury.
Robo, I just looked up the script because we can't really scroll back because we're on stream. He did not say latinum. It was always just platinum.
I think we're supposed to infer.
Oh, okay.
I think that's the intent.
Robo, don't.
But
be
they
a
didn't
journalist,
say
okay?
that.
Thanks.
The foreman says, "I've always had a fondness for platinum, specifically in its liquefied state." That's all he says.
Yeah.
Yes, but
he never says
I think
platinum.
that is.
No, you had us thinking that they equated latinum and platinum, and they explicitly spelled out that platinum was liquid platinum.
Well, I think that we're supposed to infer that, and otherwise, you're just trying to.
I have friendly headcanon in my head too. For example, I think there's warp highways, because there's no way in Star Trek V can you get to the center of the galaxy within like a reasonable amount of time. So there must be like this
hyperlanes.
Yeah, there must be some kind of place where if you just hit the warp 10, you just like cruise to the center of the galaxy.
Like how Ben Sisko solar sailed his way to Cardassia in an afternoon.
With his son, mind you. That was a father-son episode, so don't minimize that part.
Good episode.
Yeah, amazing episode.
I liked how they did fireworks. That was really cute.
Sailing's a really cool sport too, or hobby, whatever it is.
Archer's like interrogating this man, but he's clearly just a slave. He's not part of the military.
Archer doesn't give a fuck.
They don't even know what the Xindi look like, so at this point they're still
like this.
looking. But there's 5 of them, right? So they don't even know that yet.
Why would this guy even know the coordinates off the top of his head?
You know why? Because their homeworld was destroyed, and that's what he's hiding from them.
I don't know my coordinates. Do you know your coordinates?
I'm at the 42nd parallel.
That's nowhere near specific enough to find.
No,
you.
No. You had coordinates. Okay.
Why does he hate this random dude?
Because
Fucking hate Archer.
His sister got murdered.
He's so
Archer's
unlikable.
sister
She's in
didn't get
blue now.
Yeah, she's all kinds of colorful this season.
I think his finger got cut off too.
Yeah, this was
I
the
think this guy's
Andorian
to change
Puree
mid-episode.
outfit. See?
What outfit?
She made it out of Andorians.
That doesn't sound right.
What did you say about a good
That
episode?
sounds more like murder.
You think T'Pol is above murder?
Well, we did have an episode where she was wrestling with murder.
Isn't she like former Vulcan CIA?
Yeah.
Yeah, she hunted down.
She definitely
criminals.
does murder.
Once CIA, always CIA.
Yeah, that's true. She got beacon called like Jason Bourne.
Should apologize for her words and deeds.
You said apologized.
Mm-hmm. She should apologize.
Like, how much less trustworthy could you make someone than just wheezing out of a tube all the time?
I mean, he might not even necessarily be lying in this form, and it is highly valued.
Yeah.
It's very important.
If Trellium D is so good, why is there no Trellium A?
There is, actually.
Is there?
Yeah, he couldn't give it to them, though.
Hmm.
I really don't like T'Pol's haircut. It's a bad haircut.
It's okay.
It's almost as bad as this guy's haircut.
I like it, actually. I think it's good.
I don't like the bangs.
Lower Decks called it out. Why was T'Pol's hair so weird in that one season? That was a weird thing for them to call out. I think it looks good, actually. I like it better than the season 1 and 2 out.
I mean, when
and they redid her face makeup for season 3, so she looks a bit more like a Vulcan.
She looks more in charge.
How they have to reach into the space sewage? That's just gross. Why they gotta do this?
Mid-2000s Gross Out, huh? Gross Out was super popular back then.
In a couple of episodes, there is a recreation of the Star Trek VI Rura Penthe, complete with the jail trial and the judge and the advocate attorney. And then they get sentenced to Rura Penthe. And I forget if the Enterprise saves them or not, but I was like, okay.
I think that they try so hard to make Enterprise or Mr. Archer do everything that Kirk did.
An homage to yeah, it's true. It is
like Insecurity, honestly. Like
it kind of is.
Like Kirk got sent to Rura Penthe, I have to get sent to Rura Penthe.
Right, and the whole point of Star Trek 6 was that's like the inevitable planet that was always a death sentence. So it's like, okay, I guess another Starfleet captain gets the death sentence.
I think the worst part about Jonathan Archer is he has no ladder etiquette. He had his hands on the rung the other guy above him was still standing on. You have to wait till they take the step, Archer.
Do they not teach ladder safety at the academy?
What if he had to shift his position and step on your hand?
They teach you how to do that slide down the ladder at the academy. Everybody does it.
And they teach
Also,
you how to do that roll
read-
under the engineering door.
But you only
This is
slide
a
up
really
there.
dumb objection by
Remember
Reed.
when
No,
there
we can't
was-
send the Makos down. This is my job. No, this is explicitly what the Makos are for. This
Yeah.
is their only job on the ship, is to go and shoot people.
What is wrong with his uniform? Why does it have that white stuff on it?
Remember
It's
when
space
the
camo.
armory
Don't
had-
worry about it.
Remember when the armory had so much room in it for activities, and now it just has this photon torpedo loader right in the middle of the room?
Rather have room for
They were
activities for
testing
photon
phasers.
torpedoes.
They
Yeah,
had
we're
enough room to
prepared
have
for
a whole
war.
training montage in here before.
Yeah.
War.
And they did the thing with the where they were testing the phaser upgrades, and they were testing the force field, and now it's just this thing that dominates the whole room.
Well,
They should
that
have just
pretty
got
much
rid of the spatial
that
torpedoes.
fits the tone of the season, really.
Yeah.
What if they have a job
The
that
weapons.
they need a torpedo for? I'd rather have both torpedoes.
There's a lot of jobs they need torpedoes for.
Why? All right. So if the photon torpedo has variable yield, you can just make it as powerful, as less powerful as the spatial torpedoes. You don't need to have the
That's a good
spatial
point.
torpedoes and just
Well,
carry
why
more
waste
photon
the good
torpedoes.
ones if you only need a low charge?
Because the low charge ones take up space. That could be photon torpedoes that can also be really powerful.
Well, hang on. Maybe they gave Enterprise every photon torpedo they had manufactured,
Right.
and they just didn't have
Maybe.
that
Or
many.
the likely
It's-
explanation is they just made those. So
think
they
the most
every
likely
torpedo they
explanation-
could carry.
Trip.
I think the most likely explanation is that when they modified this set, they just wanted to add the thing in the middle and not like redo everything. It's
Yeah.
easier just to stick that rack in the middle of the room.
But it's useful using both there.
Also, maybe they just don't quite trust the new photons because they're new and different. It's like, let's keep a few reliables on.
Maybe each of those torpedoes
That's-
weren't very good. The old ones.
The old ones
Didn't seem
bounced off
very
an enemy
effective.
ship the first time they used them.
That one time. Don't worry about that. Also, one time they almost shot themselves with a spatial torpedo.
Warp.
Yeah, so they're very reliable.
Yeah, and don't climb a hatch just because someone tells you it's empty. It may not be empty.
Well, I mean, if the alternative is literal slavery, then, maybe some exceptions could be made.
This is really scary. They did a good job of giving the stakes in this episode.
Wait, hang on. 5 species of Xindi. There's the arboreals. There's the mammalian,
There's a secret
Insectoid,
sixth.
reptilian, aquatic.
Species.
Yeah,
Aquatic.
he
And
didn't
then there's
mention
the
the
avians.
He didn't mention the
Primates.
avians.
The
The
avians
avians
are all
are-
extinct.
Yeah. Did they call the arboreals primates at some point?
The primates and the arboreals are different.
Yeah.
The arboreals are the monkey
the
ones,
human-looking
and the
ones.
primates are the humans.
The other monkey ones.
Yeah. Okay.
No, like
I'm-
they're furry.
Yes.
Okay.
Monkey versus
but-
ape, I guess.
You're a primate though.
For whatever reason, they remind me of lemurs. I don't know why.
Hey Ryan, you're
The
a primate.
primates are the arboreals.
Yeah,
The
the
I think-
arboreals.
are
This
just
Xindi is a
furry ones.
primate.
just
Yeah.
arboreals are just Xindi furries.
Wow.
Arboreals are just Xindi furries. Changed my mind.
Reptilians are Xindi scalies.
Molten hot lava.
Yep.
Avoid that. Generally speaking.
What are the bug people called? Is there like a bug? Is there a version of furries for people who like bugs?
There are, but I don't think they have a name.
about
Let's
fish?
not delve into that.
Fishes.
Exoskellies,
Ichthys.
carapaces,
They don't have a name, but
carapaces.
there are absolutely people into that. Hey, look, Wharf, look out. God, that was scrambled.
What?
They're wharf barrels.
Oh, they are.
It was
Now,
very
really,
scrambled, though. I think I said
these guys should
I
probably
said
just
something.
shoot these people. Just shoot them. They're gonna be more
So-
trouble than they're worth.
I think I said look Wharf out. I don't know.
One thing I don't like about this Xindi arc is that it's kind of not original. You just create a microcosm. Oh, here's the Makos.
They're not here yet. What are you looking at? How far ahead are you?
Sorry.
No, shoot
I don't
them
think shoot
here
them
and then
here
drag their
now.
bodies to the surface. Don't give them a chance to escape. What are you doing? There's the Makos.
Yep.
Here's the Makos. Here comes the cavalry.
He doesn't have a cool grappling hook.
I wish
He
they
doesn't
didn't have
repel.
those GPU lasers.
Does Archer take his platinum back? I would. I would take anything of value from this place as well.
Mhm.
Lots of ore. We should probably just take the Trillium ore.
Well, ore isn't of any value.
Yeah.
You need to refine it.
Yeah, they should. Yeah, you do need to refine the Trillium, but they should just take the Trillium because it's useful for their ship later on. They have to
They
find
could
it.
trade it.
You can trade it, yeah.
Yeah, they should trade it without knowing what it is, just knowing it's valuable.
I
But they
think
need
that
it for their.
The ship is chock full of explosives right now, so they really don't have a lot of space for carrying other stuff.
And later, T'Pol
Jesus,
will
he
start
snapped that guy's
freebasing it.
neck. I think that's
I
one
hate
of
that
only two
storyline.
neck snaps we see in Star Trek. One was Wayun.
Rutherford neck snaps Badgie.
Oh yeah. Oh Jesus.
It was actually
Yeah,
really gruesome, that episode. I didn't like
Yeah.
it.
I do
What
like her
episode?
stick though.
How
That's a
gruesome it
good
was.
stick.
The
You
episode with
stick on
Badgie, I
man.
thought it was a little bit too gross.
Badgie.
But it was cartoon and he just was a badge. What's the problem?
The violence to Badgie wasn't the problem. I didn't like Badgie tearing up those people, like the holograms.
Ah,
just thought it was
they're
a little
not
gross.
real. It's fine. Don't worry
It's
about
about the
it.
grossness, not about the morality.
Okay.
Are you talking about Underdecks? Because I haven't seen any of that.
Yeah, we are. Badgie is just Clippy, but in Star Trek.
Clippy gone
Know
wrong.
about Clippy?
Everybody knows about Clippy. But do we know
Well,
about
I don't know.
evil
Like,
Clippy?
he might be a Zoomer. Zoomers probably don't know about Clippy.
Soma, are you a Zoomer?
They're losing another shuttle pod.
Don't
Already.
avoid the question. Are you or
So-
are you not a Zoomer?
Do you know about Clippy?
So
Yeah,
That's an
he's avoiding the
interesting
question.
rifle.
be the office assistant.
He's a Zoomer.
That's a
He's
yes.
a Zoomer. He doesn't know
Ooh,
about
sniper
Clippy.
rifle.
Who
It's really
doesn't know
taking
about
a long
Clippy?
time to shoot. Why doesn't he have a laser gun? Why does he have a pew
You
pew
don't know
Star
about
Wars
Clippy.
gun?
Oh,
I know about Clippy. Of course I know about Clippy.
Then why are you avoiding the question?
I wasn't aware you were referring to me.
You never used Clippy. You're just
I've
aware.
thought
of
about Clippy in the past, I'm sure.
I've used Clippy. It wasn't very useful.
I'm pretty sure I have actually used the operating system Clippy was on. It's a long time ago though, so I don't quite remember.
Looks like you're trying to destroy
I've got-
humanity.
Yeah, I've got one where it says, "Looks like you're writing a suicide note." Would you
Oh,
like
no,
to use a
they're different
template?
pods.
Could you not make jokes about that?
Looks
No.
like you're trying to make a crass joke. Would you like some help?
You know,
Looks
Just
like you're
ever
trying to
since
destroy Florida.
ever since I joined Discord, I just kind of discovered how many young people have mental health issues that are not taken care of, and it's kind of really upsetting.
Yeah.
Discord is full of young people. It's weird. I feel like a
Yeah.
boomer on
And
Discord.
young
I'm only
people are full of
25.
Discord.
So 800-273
But Discord
82
is
is the
obviously
National Suicide Hotline. Please take care of yourself.
heavily rated, heavily weighted towards the younger generation.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, because Facebook stopped being cool. Like, I started college in 2004, and
Where do people my age hang out?
and so Facebook
internet.
really old.
Ew, I'm not using Facebook.
So,
I know.
yeah.
It's just where older people generally hang out still.
Right. And so Facebook was new when I was in college, and it was colleges only actually at one point. And so then they let everyone join, but before it was kind of like at first it was for Ivy League colleges, which I definitely did not go to. And then when it opened up to like us peasants, it was kind of like a big deal.
Okay, so Reed now has a grudging respect for the Makos. So this isn't going to be a problem in the future, right? He's going to let them do their job?
That was pretty
The one
cringy.
job they're here for?
Nope. No.
Yeah, Reed is just all kinds of wrong and jealous here.
Phlox, don't try to set them up. What are you doing, man? Did Rick Berman put you up to this?
He's trying to ship. He's trying to ship them
That's very
together.
So do
directly.
we like the trip to Paul ship? I think it's probably
It's
the most
fine.
popular het ship on Star Trek.
It's fine.
I prefer T'Pol with Archer.
Really?
Oh yeah,
I'm not a
they make a
T'Pol
better couple.
shipper.
I think
I don't
T'Pol and
think
Hoshi
T'Pol
would
has
be good.
chemistry with anyone on Enterprise.
Well, she's a Vulcan.
T'Pol and Hoshi had it going on for like a minute there.
Oh, T'Pol has
T'Pol
a
and
Janeway
Hoshi.
robe.
Hoshi's a potted plant.
she, she, she is a language nerd. Okay, she just likes to be introverted. That doesn't make her a potted plant.
Show doesn't treat her like a character.
Introverts just zone out sometimes. They just lock themselves in a library and just do their own thing.
She went and had a meal with the Makos and introduced herself.
How many episodes of
talked to people.
Hoshi content did we get? We get the one
2.
where she in season 4, where she's in the brig, or sorry, in the decon room with Trip, and they talk about the academy. That was a pretty good time.
And she gets possessed or
And there's
animated as a zombie or something?
There's the Beauty and the Beast episode in which she is in this
There's
season
the episode
coming up.
where she turns into a spooky ghost.
Yeah, there's that.
There's an episode where she falls out of the Jeffries tube and ends up topless in front of someone's door.
It's
She's
about
just
arcs.
there in that
So,
episode. That doesn't have anything to do with
in
her.
episode 1, season
That could have
1,
been Trip.
she's instrumental to the end the plot, and obviously she becomes less.
There's a
important
time
as
where she's
goes on.
kidnapped by the weird dude with the tentacle face thing.
Yeah, the immortal guy who like was abandoned by his people or something.
There was the time she was kidnapped by the reptilians and she tried to jump off the ledge to prevent them from getting the codes.
So she's like Balana,
Yep.
basically.
All
And
looks
then
a
she
little
got
skinny.
a brain parasite, and somehow she recovered from the parasites eating
She
her
got
brain.
better. It's fine.
And
Rick
we have
Berman, is this
moved
you?
to- yes.
It's like the Vidians were really interested in Balana for like a few episodes.
It's really interesting though
you know-
that she covers her breast with no Trip is facing his face looking at her back.
I would too.
Uh-huh.
I would too.
Yeah, that's
Hey, they put Vaseline on the camera.
That's a normal reaction to pressure point massage, right?
There's a little bit of like haze lighting everywhere.
A little bit of Vaseline.
Yeah.
The hell was that?
Because this is not sexual. right?
Return the favor. Oh, dude, the cameraman. They had
Trip,
a new
just leave.
cameraman for this. They had this new cameraman to film this, and he had like this big mustache and a Hawaiian shirt on.
Wait, does T'Pol's shirt not actually button properly?
No.
It looks like if
And
she
it
tried to
doesn't-
button the rest of them, they wouldn't fit.
No.
Probably not. It's
It's
made out
not
of
meant to
silk.
be worn.
Silk does not stretch.
But it's not even the right size for her. It's too small. They could have given
Do
her
you
a
want her
bigger
to look
shirt.
normal, or do you want
Yes.
her to like?
Accentuate.
I want her to not freeze in the middle of the night.
Well, maybe the Enterprise is warm.
Okay, no, but that thing is only held by one button. And
One
it's meant to be
tiny
held by
button.
one
That thing
button.
that could break open at any moment. That's a good line, though. I know what it means. Don't have to be a dick about it to Paul. Also, isn't the whole point of pajamas is that they're comfortable? That doesn't look comfortable.
The writing of this whole arc of neuro pressure therapy is that T'Pol wants it like way more, and she has to talk her into it the whole time. And I didn't realize she's the one who's like, "Oh, take off your clothes now." Like,
oh, but are you implying I'm making advances? Yes, we are, T'Pol. Leave him alone. Ooh, another star.
So they're just planning to just obliterate the Xindi in revenge against the entire fleet race of Xindi without having any knowledge
they
of
just
their
have
strength.
ships there. What are you gonna do then,
9/11,
Archer?
you gotta kill them all. Because a few thousand people died.
also,
I mean, if this were a real 9/11 allegory, they should have just gone and bombed like the Andorians or something.
Right. Also,
yeah, but that'd be self-aware.
Also, something kind of weird and also metaphorical, right? Like for the American public, 9/11 came out of nowhere, but like U.S. foreign policy for decades, or even Western policy for of colonialism for like a century and more, had a lot to do with interfering in the Middle East and creating a lot of.
Well, it wouldn't have
problems.
happened if we didn't fund them.
But
we
what
literally
I'm saying
gave
is,
them
though,
money and weapons.
It's accurate in the sense that, like, to the American public, it came out of nowhere. But like Star Trek forgot to show the part where the Federation, occupies most of the Xindi land at one point or another.
But they're going to occupy the Xindi land in the future.
Yes, but these are the good guys.
Yeah,
the good guys would never do that.
Again, the 9/11 metaphor falls flat because it's like. But one other thing I saw, like, television has to be relevant to the audience. So to be relevant, they kind of had to, like, I mean,
this is decades, even over a century.
And I don't want to be insensitive, but they even shut down baseball, on 9/11. So like, it was such a huge event that like the fact that somehow the writing wouldn't speak to the most important global event of the 21st century in the first year. I kind of like this.
Remember when Star Trek was pro-terrorism?
In DS9, the whole series.
And actually, on that note, though, the point also is that when we find out there's 5 Xindi species, it's to show kind of obviously, look, they're not all the same. Like, you have to vary between whatever enemy you think it is. It's not a homogenous society like you might imagine.
All right, yeah, they found the Xindi homeworld, and it got Alderaan, so now what?
We got the coordinates. That was a wild goose chase.
It's like, all right, we did it, boys. The Xindi homeworld is destroyed. Let's go home. Oh, there's Randy. Randy Oglesby, Degra. He's pretty cool. God, we really do need more fish people in Star Trek. And not like those TNG fish people.
Somebody.
Not just those fish people from TNG who are just, they look like fish, but they just walk around. They need to be fish.
Do you think the aquatics hang out in Cetacean Ops?
Maybe. Well, in Lower Decks, we see Cetacean Ops, and they're dolphins who are, shall we say, aggressive.
Yeah. Thanks, Ryan. Thanks, chat.
They have no chill.
Aggressive, yes. That's one word for it.
Was Rick Worthy? Oh, Rick Worthy was there. I don't remember who he played, but now that you mention it, yeah, I definitely heard Rick Worthy.
I don't understand.
Rick Worthy, the actor. I think he played the Xindi Arboreal. Is that right?
I see.
The fluffy man, the furry man.
It's interesting that 2 out of the 5 races are fully CG.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, stream's over. Go away.
Bye.
No.
Bye, stream.
Best stream.